Well, after the insurance company, going back to I think 2013, declared us to be a rebuild, we got a list from them of approved builders that they had found worked well on hillside building, and we narrowed that down to a short list of 4, and then we interviewed, it all sounds very formal, but we interviewed people from each of those 4, and out of them we were most impressed with Chatterton Builders. We felt that Brent gave us the answers we wanted to hear. We were impressed with the sincerity of his approach, and everything sounded to be very well organised, so we signed on the dotted line with through the insurance company. And then later, when we were cash settled and we had to go it alone, we decided that we were still happy with the dealings we'd had with Chatterton's in the interim, and so we signed up in our own right. We found quite early on that Chatterton's seemed to have their finger on the pulse of what was required to get the project underway. All the way through, we felt that Chatterton's were on top of things, and when we had questions, they were always happy to answer them. And then once the build process started, we had a lot of difficulties, but Chatterton's always seemed to find a way through them and achieve a satisfactory outcome. Oh, there are a number of things. The first big issue we had was with the foundations. Because of the land designation, we had to have the biggest foundations known to man, and that required a lot of excavation and potentially a lot of concrete and reinforcing. But then we were beset by about a month of bad weather, and the foundations kept flooding. Brent and his team came up with the solution of actually building a tent around it, around the whole site, and protecting it from the weather. And from then on, we didn't miss anything wrong. When we went back to the insurance company with a claim for additional payouts to cover that extra cost, Brent and his team put together a lot of paperwork and a lot of photos and everything like that, which the insurance company eventually accepted and paid out. So that was a real standout early on. But all through the project, any problems that came up, the lead builder on the site was excellent at not only telling us of problems, but also giving us suggested solutions, which invariably were the right way to go. He also had a good rapport with our designer, and odd difficulties that came up, the pair of them worked it out. So all the way through, Chatterton's supported us and helped us get to a satisfactory end result. We couldn't have asked for more, really. Our house has a lot of odd angles and funny shapes and things, and that posed significant, but ultimately physically quite small problems that required a lot of thought by the lead builder and his team. And in every case, they sorted out a very satisfactory outcome. They got the designer in when his input was necessary, and the end result speaks for itself. The problems that came up were all very satisfactorily resolved. I would recommend Chatterton's largely because of the answers to all the questions above. Just overall, we have a good feeling about Chatterton's. Being a family business, I think, helps. We've had personal service right through. The quality of the staff have been very good. One thing that we were concerned about at the beginning was what you see in a lot of building sites, where the builder turns up for a few days and then goes away for a few more days. Brent said that that's not the way Chatterton's work when we interviewed him, and that turned out to be the case, that we had the lead builder and one other staff member on site pretty much every day through the whole project. And I think that has contributed greatly to the way the project is run and to the quality of the end result. That there was no one having to stop and start and get back up to speed again. They were always here, and we appreciated that.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks very much, Alistair. Welcome to your new home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fred.
Cheers.
It's been a pleasure.